New photos from Mars, Tiger Woods' car crash, and a very peculiar fairy tale. All this and more on This Week of JNN. Hello, and welcome back to another episode of the Jacket News Network. Each week we deliver school and community news to you from room 254 of Oxford High School. I'm Kiara Charles.
And I'm Noah Brothers. Let's get started. NASA's recently just landed their largest and most advanced robot on Mars last Thursday. The robot named Perseverance started its 203-day journey in July of 2020 and traveled almost 293 million miles through space. NASA Administrator Steve Jersey said in a quote, "This landing is one of those pivotal moments for NASA, the United States, and space exploration globally, when we know we are on the cusp of discovery and sharpening our pencil, so to speak, to rewrite the textbooks." NASA also released some of the new high-resolution pictures they have gotten from their rover. With all the new research they are gathering, scientists hope to make breakthroughs in their knowledge of Mars.
In national news, a big name in golf took a serious hit. Tiger Woods is a name that may be familiar to many of you. He's an American golfer with many championship and tournament wins under his belt. Woods is widely known as one of the greatest golfers of all time, as well as one of the most famous athletes in the world. Woods is no stranger to hospitalization and injury, as he's had to either drop out of tournaments or get surgeries 30 times in his golf career. However, he may have just suffered the worst injury of his career so far. On February 23rd at 7:12 a.m., Woods was involved in a car crash in which his car flipped 3 times. His doctor stated that there is nothing fatal, but he had significant damage to his right leg and ankle. Many say that this could be it for his golf career. At the time of the crash, Woods was recovering from a 5th back surgery, which itself will take months to heal. Whether Tiger Woods will be able to return in time for the next championship or ever, for that, only the matter of only time will tell.
In school news, advisement will take place from March 15th to April 9th. Appointment times are currently being scheduled and invitations to attend will be mailed out on February 25th. You can now access audio and ebooks through Sora. Go to the Google Apps menu and select Sora icon. Sign in using your school email and browse through thousands of titles. You can check out 2 titles at a time, and don't worry about late fees because all books are automatically returned after 2 weeks unless renewed. Also, there are many 2020 yearbooks that have not been picked up yet. If you purchase one, please see Ms. Thomas in the main office to collect it. You can still purchase 2021 yearbooks for $75 at school or at jostens.com. If you're a virtual student and missed school picture day in the fall, you can still submit a picture. Use the link in the OHS Student News Group on Schoology to submit a school-appropriate picture for the 2021 school yearbook. Let's dive into sports. For boys basketball last Friday, they lost to Mountain Brook in a tough battle in the playoffs. That will sadly end their season as finished 29-3 and were undefeated at home on the season. For girls basketball last Thursday, they lost to Chelsea. That would also sadly end their season as well. They were 24-7 and were also undefeated at home for the season. Now let's move on to soccer.
For boys soccer, they played their first game of the season against White Plains last Monday and lost 2-0. Tuesday, they played their first area game versus Pell City and tied 2-2, and then ended up winning the game on penalty kicks. For girls soccer last Monday, they also played their first game of the season and lost to Pelham 3-1. They also played their first area game on Tuesday and lost to Pell City 8-3. Now, let's take a look at softball. This past weekend, they played in the Leeds tournament and went 3-2. On the season so far, they are 4-2. That's all we have for sports this week. In honor of National Tell-a-Fairytale Day, we created our own fairy tale. Let's take a look.
Let me tell you a tale of a very peculiar day. It all happened in a land not so far away. In the small town of Oxford, there lived a wee man. His name was Noah Brothers, and he had a wee plan. He wanted to steal Jane in all for himself, so he stole the skills jackets and gave it to an evil elf. Jackson, who was supposed to be the anchor that day, came to the studio and saw the jackets had been hidden away. He looked around and said, where could they be? And then from the corner he heard a quiet Jackson said, Noah, you conniving thief, return the jackets before we have beef. Noah grinned and said, I hid them away. You'll never get them back, not tomorrow, not today. Jackson felt defeated. Oh, what could he do? He sat there and cried, boo-hoo, boo-hoo. And then, in a sudden twist of fate, his fairy godmother fluttered in with a magical slate. She said to Jackson, "Stop your boo-hoos. I'm your fairy godmother, and I'll know what to do." And with a bippity-boppity and a little bit of boo, new Skills jackets appeared on all the studio crew. The whole crew shouted, "Hooray!" This week's episode of J&N is saved. Jackson thanked his godmother, and she left in a hurry. Then everyone looked to Noah, whose face was filled with worry. Noah said, "Let's just forget about this. We're all friends." But Jackson replied, "Your reign of terror must come to an end." Jackson shouted out in the distance, "Marvin, come here." Then thunderous footsteps echoed, and Noah uttered, "Oh dear." Noah wondered, who could this person be? Marvin was Jackson's pet dragon, and Marvin was hungry. Noah tried to flee and avoid his impending doom, but the dragon was faster and whizzed towards Noah with a zoom. The dragon trapped Noah in a corner, and then to his surprise, not one but two police arrived. They said to Marvin, "We'll take it from here," and Noah shook and quivered in fear. When they asked why Noah was being arrested, they said through counts of tax fraud, forgery, and counterfeiting. And so Noah was taken away, and Jackson was happy he had saved the day. I'm afraid we've run out of time, my friend. I'll see you next time. But this story has come to an end. In a sudden twist of fate.
Do it again. Sorry, I was. Everything faster?
I hate them more. Bruh.
Out of time, my friend. So we'll see you next time on J&N.
Or visit our YouTube channel, OHS Jacket Media. Last week's question of the week was, if you were a Disney villain, which one would you be?
I
I'll
would be
Kronk.
Maleficent.
I'll be Kronk.
Kronk is more like a, he's more like a sidekick.
No,
I
but
feel
like,
like he is more
okay,
of the
look, if you
villain.
look it up like on Disney and whatever, it says villain.
Well, I guess, but I feel like Maleficent's a really good villain, but she's
I hate her.
misunderstood.
I hate her so much.
Why do you hate Maleficent?
Because, okay, they try to paint her as like a hero, and whatever. Okay.
Okay.
This week's question of the week is, which Marvel movie is your favorite?
That's all we have for this week of the Jacket News Network. Be sure to check back here for more weekly episodes.
Also, follow us at OHS Jacket Media on all of our socials to stay up to date on all that's happening at Oxford High School. Have a good week and go
Go
and
Big O.
Go Big O.